Welcome to Agadir and the final block on day one of competition of the Agadir Grand-Prix 2018. Agadir is a shining gem on Morocco's coastline with spacious streets, palm-lined boulevards and bright white buildings. It's also near to the Anti-Atlas and the Sahara, making it a great place to explore some of Morocco's outstanding natural features. But we're going to begin with the first of the bronze medal matches in the under 48 kilo category. That features Marusia Stanger of Slovenia. She's up against Katharina Mentz of Germany. It'll be Stanger in the white judogi and Mentz in blue. And with commentary on this and all the medal matches, it's a very warm welcome to former world champion Kusak. Very good afternoon, Loretta.
Good afternoon, Sheldon, and yes, we're looking forward to a very exciting first day of competition in this final block. And as you can see, Stanger's got the upper hand here. She head-to-head has won in the previous run-ins, so she'll be coming into this contest a little bit more confident, possibly. But based on performances of both these athletes, it's going to be a very exciting but challenging match for both.
The referee in the middle for this one is Roland Puiger of Austria. Fresh from the 70th anniversary of the Austrian Judo Federation. Celebrated last weekend.
Yes, I heard there were some wonderful celebrations going on, and congratulations to Austrian Judo.
37-35 was it, as far as the world rankings were concerned?
Yes, they're
I think.
very, very close as far as the statistics concerned with these two athletes. Very little to divide them other than Stanger has had the upper hand in a previous win against the head-to-heads. Stanger Junior World Championships back in 2015, we got a silver medal, and World Cadet Championships in 2017, third bronze medal. Both very, very young athletes, great potential, and looking forward to seeing how they perform against each other.
Looked as though Mentz came out meaning serious business, almost had Stanger up onto her hip there.
Well, when you're thinking the hug, considering how young she was a bronze medalist in the Grand Prix back in December, so it's obviously familiar in being on the centre stage, battling away for a medal.
Left-sided effort there, just trapping the sleeves of Mentz, but they both look a little bit awkward with those sleeves there.
It's really a bit of a settling process at this moment. They've had a bit of a break, and this is a time to compose themselves and to reflect on how they've performed throughout the day. Stanger, I think, based on performance, has had a stronger performance and very confident approach to this bronze medal final, so she'll be feeling pretty good about herself, as well as having in the mindset that she's also had a win against her opponent Mentz. But nice strong grip there from the German, as you can see, with that left hand that comes up onto the shoulder, inside blocking her opponent's right hand. As you can see, as she attempts to turn in, she loses a little bit of power, but the hips are through there, and Stanger comes in very nicely there, lifting and rotating her opponent. Just didn't get that little finish at the end that would have given her the score, but straight into Niwaza. And I was talking to a coach a little bit earlier on in the break, and it was quite interesting. She loves Niwaza, and this is why all the Slovenians do so well. They as much as they do Tachiwaza, they do Niwaza as well. So they really play, and there's a massive influence of Niwaza in the structure of Slovenian judo, especially from her personal coach. And she's standing there actually very, very proud of the young athletes and how they've performed, and such maturity. And it is a maturity within their judo, because talking to the coach, they were saying that these young athletes don't get funded at cadet and junior level. Even though if they win world and European medals, they don't get the funding. The only time they get funding is if they take a 5th place and above in the Grand Slams and Grand Prix on the senior level. Hence the reason they put these young athletes in.
Yeah.
They get them in there early so that they can get the exposure, but more importantly that they get the funding to support their judo career. But men's coming in with that lovely uchimata. She got the lift. It was a bit of a hop, but she didn't have the sleeve to be able to get the little finish, the rotation onto the back. But still, there's a little bit of pressure now for Stanger. She's now on the receiving end, as what you can see, the arms getting pulled out there for the arm lock. She's not got the turnover yet, but
I suppose the referee thought that it wasn't going to go that much further, because he's pretty good at allowing Niwaza to continue,
yes,
so he must have seen a strong defence.
I think he did give a little bit of that extra time just to see. Harai Makakomi, a lovely attack there. Stanger goes over but didn't go for a score, but nevertheless a strong attack from the German. And Stanger picks up the first Shido with just half a minute remaining more or less in this contest, and still very evenly matched, very strong, gutsy performance from both these athletes. The hip comes through from the German. She tries the Makakomi, loses the contact with the upper body control, but there is Stanger straight into the Niwaza. The shimiwaza is there. The hips need to just drop a little bit lower and the head needs to come up. But lost that balance, head went forward and just lost the leverage on the neck. Once more, Stanger through in the Niwaza. Again, you can see how confident she is down there. Such maturity in her judo for such a very young athlete. So now we're into the golden score, and there's nothing to part these two young ladies. Both battling away very fiercely out there. So determined, both of them, to get that bronze medal and take it home to their countries. And there you have Stanger once more battling away in Niwaza. Looks very, very comfortable down there in the ground and piling on a lot of pressure on men's. Still feel that there's a bit of a threat with the shimiwaza, but at this angle we can't really see too much what's going on, but the referee's allowing it to happen, which means that he's quite comfortable that something positive is coming from this. Almost the osakomi, but still didn't get the rotation onto the back, just didn't secure the pin enough to say that she had full control. But as you can see, she's tied up that arm, she's got the weight on the head, and she's desperately trying to get that leg out. Well, there was a lot of pressure put on the German there, and she would have been very, very uncomfortable and threatened quite considerably there.
I think that makes it difficult for Mentz in the future when they go to ground, because she knows that there's a serious threat there.
That's always the big problem when you have an athlete that is so competent down in Niwaza that it makes you frightened to attack in case you fall on the receiving end of it.
Well
and
put.
There you have Stanger. She's once more in the attack in the Niwaza. She's working her way there. She's punishing the German down there. And all you see is the defense of the German trying desperately not to get caught up. And there you have it. The osakomi's there. If that leg, the leg's caught up. But first of all, as you can see, she's tying up the head. She's controlling that quite nicely. The referee's doing extremely well, knowing that this young lady's so competent down there and so comfortable in what she's trying to achieve. Legs still too wide apart for the Jujikatami to work from there. As you can see, that leg's still caught up and the knees are too wide apart, so they don't have the same amount of leverage. The hips need to come up, and she just doesn't have that edge. But still, the pressure is on all the time, and the German will be exhausted from that spell of Niwaza and being on the defense all the time. Lovely Ouchigari, beautifully entered there. Oh, just a missed opportunity. She switched it, she went forward. For me personally, I felt she should have maybe just persevered with the Ouchigari. Well, the Slovenian picks up the second Shido. Now, it was quite sad about that. There was a lot of work in the Niwaza. Why doesn't that count when it is so positive in the ground?
Agree with you entirely. Yeah, and that's a push out for me. There's no attempt to attack there.
You're so right. So right. That was just a ploy to get the third and final Shido.
Just beginning to lose focus a little bit here with Mentz, and they have taken away that penalty.
Okay. And I think that's got to have a reflection on what she's been doing in the ground. In her niwaza, it's judo, and it is a winning factor, and she was so positive in the ground. Well, they seem to have put it back on again for whatever reason.
Yeah, just the one.
Right, so it stays. Yeah. It went on and went off. And went off, and that's right. So they were doing a bit of a flashing moment there, but. Now Stanger, she's defending there, but she needs to be attacking. The hooking in with the Ochi, the hooking at the back with the Kochi, sort of working for the Uchimata. Falls onto her face. The German now finds herself again on the receiving end of the niwaza, and she knows that Stanger can actually produce something special in the ground if she's allowed the opportunity. For me, for the German, you'd stay up on your feet.
Well, I know the German coach has been swinging his arms around and gesticulating about the length of time that Stanger's been allowed on the ground, but I'd say that if it was the other way round, he wouldn't be saying anything.
No, exactly. And the thing is, it is very positive. It's positive niwaza. She's actually executing something there that has got the potential to score and to win. Hooking again with the Ouchi combination of Uchimata. Flexibility of Stanger that then follows through into the niwaza. So Stanger really needs to be back up on her feet. She really needs to be pushing forward and attacking straight off that grip. She needs to be very positive in her tachiwaza. Cross grip again, a nice start, but her legs just got caught up there. The feet were actually crossed at one stage. But here you have the shimiwaza. Does she have the leverage? She's using the leg as well at the side, but as you can see, it's not overstretched. But the referee had obviously good vision there to see that it was on the chin rather than under the chin. Well, this has been a real battle. 4 minutes has gone in golden score. These young ladies have been out there for 8 minutes now. Neither one of them looking tired. They're still producing some very good judo out there and some real fighting spirit. Sodi, attempt there from Stanger, leaves herself on the receive. Oh, goodness me. Well, she landed on the top of her head, but it wasn't intentional. But now here we have Stanger straight away in the Sangaku Jimmy. She's getting the rotation. She's got the Sangaku Jimmy on. Can she get the submission from it? It looks ever so uncomfortable, but she's also got the Osakomi as well. So Tukiteri has been broken because the leg has been caught up. But again, once more, Stanger giving out a lot of punishment in that niwaza.
How much more can Mentz soak up? Not a great deal, I think.
There. That's it, all over and done with. Well, for the Slovenian, that's where her strength was in the niwaza. She punished the German in the ground. She put her on the receiving end all the time, and it was it was survival out there. And for men, she made the mistake of going into the niwaza too many times. She needed to stay standing. Her strength was in her tachiwaza, but couldn't avoid the ground.
Stanger overcame Chayem Erdenari of Morocco earlier on with a really, really excellent display on the ground. She then went head-to-head with Irina Dolgova of Russia and came out on the losing side,
Yes.
but again on the ground after some really, really
There was some real battles.
good exchanges there. And she's shown again here. So, you've got a referee who's seen this during the day. He knows what's going on. He's just going to give that little bit more there and say, right.
And full credit to the referee. He gave the time that was necessary, and it was engaging all the time. There was always something happening in the ground, from the shimiwazas to the osakomis to the arm locks. It was there all the time. The options were open. He recognised that. He knew that the strengths were Slovenian, and he kept it going. And the right person won.
And it was really, on the back of that Shido that she got after she stood up and they gave her a Shido for passivity, what was really good is that somebody down there, the head referee or one of the commissioners said, no. She's almost had her arm out to win the contest. And now we're going to say you were passive.
And that could have been the changing dynamics of that, because we saw straight away when she had the two Shidos, what was happening is her opponent was looking for the third and final by pushing out and doing some negative things out there, which could have lost her the match quite easily, just based on not acknowledging the niwaza that was going on.
I was really glad to see the back of that Shido.
Oh, so was I, because I thought that was the dynamics of the whole match changing there. She needed to stay standing, where really her strength was in the niwaza, and she would have had to do more standing.
We shall be congratulating not only the coach and player, but also the referee and the commission for that bit of work there, because it made for an interesting contest, because they ended up making the right decisions,
so
as far as Loretta and I are concerned.
Yes,
anyway.
Definitely. Yeah, that was a very good match indeed.
Not so sure about the German coach. He may not agree with us.
Possibly not, but well-deserved fifth place anyway for men's. She had to work hard.
Right, coming up next, the second of the bronze medal contest in the under 48 kilo category. Shira Rishoni of Israel faces Yulia Figueroa of Spain. It'll be Rishoni in the white judogi, Figueroa in blue. And the referee in the middle for this one is Arto Fando of Belarus.
Yes, well, this will be again. I'm starting to get brave now to talk to these coaches that know they're on a bit of a hard day. And talking to the Israeli coach, or president, as we should say, he acknowledged that the under 48s wasn't as sparky and wasn't as lively as what they were expecting. But when the conversation went on, well, they're hosting the European Championships. It's better getting it right on the day at the European Championships than actually trying to peak at such an early stage right now and gain those top performances that maybe has come too early.
Good point. You'd like to see it done on home soil, I suppose.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Well, Rishoni in Baku last year took a bronze medal and also a silver in Antalya. Figueroa, well, she's had a really good start for the year. I saw her over in Rome, and she done extremely well in Rome. Great performance from this young lady. And last year, and back in 2016 was most probably one of her strongest years, where she picked up a bronze medal in the Masters, Grand Slam, a silver medal in Timan, and in Baku also gold medal in the Grand Slam in 2016. So that was a real sort of a year for her. But she's a steady performer. She's always there and around the medals, and always gives a really good account of herself and puts on a show every time to the best of her ability, to who she competes against. And I think this is someone that has done that at this today here.
First minute out of the way. No scorers yet, but penalty free. A little bit testy between this pair.
Yeah, testing the water against each other. Figueroa defeated Ulrich of Germany in the first. She had a bye in the first round. In the second round, Ulrich of Germany, and then went on to defeat Minska, her Rishoni's teammate, to get into the semi-final, where she lost against Dolgova of Russia. So she's had a tough running. Some real battles on the way to this bronze medal final. And is looking to try and create something in the Niwas. I'm not quite sure from this angle what. Doesn't seem to be very little on offer for her, and the referee obviously acknowledges that. But on placing them back up onto the feet awards Figueroa a Shiro, and a minute and a half remaining in this contest. Well, there was a sneaky little Uchigari there on the advance back up onto her feet. Rishoni was just watching on as she allowed her opponent to come up, and that little leg just sneakily in the Uchigari on the left-hand side was there. And that's the danger. Lovely turnover there, beautifully executed.
Second time today.
We've
from
seen that,
Figueroa.
yes. In fact, didn't she do that to Minska? I think she did that in the quarter-final to Minska. She rolled her over like a baby.
Both been caught like that.
So both have been caught like that. Well, a great win for Figueroa of Spain. She'll be absolutely delighted. A solid performance here today for this young lady, and a well-deserved bronze medal goes back to Spain.
Yeah, I suppose Shani Hershko is going to talk to both players about it. To lose once is one thing, but your teammate and your coach should highlight the fact that you're going to come up against this sort of thing. Because I saw Shani pointing, with his eyes, look at this, look at this. And he knew that was a possibility, but hadn't been able to communicate that successfully to Shiro Rishoni. It's
well, looking at the body language, it is what it is. The coach is saying, let's put it behind us and move on. But it will be disappointing that both these athletes actually got defeated in the same way. It's like the two people, you get an opportunity, you get two bites at the cherry, and you make the same mistake. You both go down in the Niwaza.
Losing to the same player, as Loretta's suggesting, is one thing, but losing in the same way,
it's even harder. Definitely harder. It's like
right. Coming up next, the final of the under 48 kilo category.
Now this will be a very interesting match indeed. Costa, for me, I've picked as being the one of my favourites to winning this, and it's really down to a real gutsy performance here in this competition.
Irina Dolgova of Russia faces Katarina Costa of Portugal. It'll be Dolgova in the white judogi, Costa in blue.
And they're absolutely miles apart when it comes to the world ranking, 102 to 5. But when it comes to the age and grades and wins, there's very little to divide them when it comes to those statistics. But based on performance, obviously Dolgova is the number one seed coming into this competition. She is a very, very strong athlete, and second in the Masters, Abu Dhabi gold medalist, and in the World Championships a 5th place. So this is somebody that really has performed and a consistent performer. But this youngster coming through from Portugal at the World Championships in the juniors back in 2014 was a bronze medalist, and also two European championship medals. So again, she's a youngster that knows what it feels like to win medals at top level competition.
The referee in the middle for this one is Nedim Bayat of Turkey, and Dolgova came here with her teammate and former training partner at 48 kilos, Alessia Kuznetsova, another Newaza specialist. They've been working out together. Kuznetsova not taking part in this one, she's got a bit of a knee injury, but sufficiently well fit enough to act as a training partner, but not strong enough to be entered into the competition.
I suppose it's wise if you've got something niggling away, and you've got the starting in May, the qualifications for the Olympic Games, you've got the European Championships coming up very soon. There's a lot at stake. If you start aggravating an injury that's trying to heal itself, it's not really a wise thing to do. Costa here, for me, is a young athlete. She's most probably not one of the strongest technicians we've had in this competition, but what she does have at the Koichigari as well, that was beautifully executed from the Dolgova.
And you talked about that earlier on, yeah.
She's got, what's more successful for her is when she gets that little side skip with it. Then she does the Koichi. It is superb when she gets them moving.
Well spotted, because I've been watching Dolgova over a number of years, and it's just a little movement to the left and the
skip.
Right.
She gets the little light-handed skip, and then she catches with the Koichigari. It's beautifully done, and she stumbles, but at least and gets a score from it every time. It is the strongest and the biggest threat is when she has them moving.
She's a little bit more clinical,
yes,
in her entries as far as the Newaza is concerned than Stanger.
Yes.
Stanger's like limpet mine. She just hooks on and she'll take anything that's going, whereas Dolgova,
she's got a plan.
Yeah, and unless she sees that opening, she's going to leave it. Possibly because she's more confident about standing up.
Definitely, I think she's comfortable in her own skin. She's confident to know what she's capable of doing. She knows her limitations, she knows her strengths, but she also knows her weaknesses. But she comes out, she's very calculated in every move that she makes. She's not going, even if she's a Shido or even 2 Shidos down, she's not going to make that mistake that a lot of people will then dynamically, because the contest has changed, will start throwing everything in just out of pure panic. And she's quite, in some cases you look at her and think she's pretty laid back, really, but everything she's doing is for a reason. She's trying to put an action in to get a reaction from her opponent. Not all the time do they react the way she wants them, but she perseveres with that.
She was one of my outside picks for Rio 2016, and unfortunately for her, that's where she finished. Outside.
Brilliant.
Yeah. A little bit too early, I think. I was a little bit over ambitious for her. But I think the timing is going to be right this time round for Rio. Number 5 in the world and number 1 seed here, working well.
It's a very competitive weight, isn't it? 48 kilos. That is wide open for the Olympic Games, really, at this moment. There's quite a few that you could sort of look at and think, no, they're capable of doing it. On the day of a good day, they're capable of winning. Costa, at this moment, is looking a little bit outclassed against Dolgova. As you can see, Dolgova is she's playing here. She's actually commanding the pace and the direction this contest is going. She's a Wazari up, so it gives her that great opportunity to stay just in control here and nothing more. And Costa she's gutsy, but I think what she will do is make a mistake here. And that could have cost her. She went onto her knees, but then started to come up. But the Uchimata was hanging around there from Dolgova. So she's got to be careful as she approaches back up into the Tachiwaza from Niwaza position. Well, you can see Costa bent over. She really is under a lot of pressure. Now some nice little bit of judo there from the Niwaza. But the time quickly passes by and the win goes to Dolgova.
Yeah, just business. nothing personal.
She doesn't even look like she's broke sweat there, really, does she?
Costa, I think, will have benefited from that experience being out in the middle with someone like Irina Dolgova. You know, there are all sorts of different looks that you're going to get, whether
Definitely.
it's, you know, Tanaki Funa or Dario Biladid, or, you know, you're going to get different types of fighter, and Dolgova is definitely one that you're going to have to be able to overcome.
Well, it's been a great performance for Costa. She's performed well, a solid performance to that final, a well-deserved silver medal, but she was outclassed in that final.
We'll take a look at some of the highlights, and then we'll be back with the next of the weight categories. Stay with us.
There's the highlights of that very throw, the Koichi. Just trap that heel and use the upper body control to get the score. Nice.
It's really a cross, isn't it? It's a cross between Koichi Gari and Koichi Gaki, because she doesn't sweep the leg at all. She plants it behind and almost pushes her over, which for me, that's the Gake, but there's no hook. It's just, it really is a block and a push over. Interesting one. Right, coming up next, the under 60 kilo category first bronze medal match. Gonçalo Mancino of Portugal faces Moritz Plafke of Germany. It's Mancino in the white judogi, Plafke in blue, and here's Loretta Cusat-Doyle.
Thank you. Mancino, African Open Championships back in 2016, took a bronze medal in Casablanca. So in Morocco, obviously finds it very comfortable indeed and to perform. He's 24 years of age and world rank 62.
The referee in the middle for this one is Jean-Claude Jimbi of Gabon. Plafke, when he competed earlier on today, Loretta and I were talking about it, it can be at times a little bit loose, a little bit, dare I say, flashy. Not to the extent of Fabio Basile, but...
No one could be as flashy as that. I love that guy.
He can also be just that little bit, look a little bit loose.
I think his defences has got to be a little bit, he's got to be a bit more aware of having a defence. And he leaves himself wide open here. And he did in the first rounds of this competition, but I think as the tournament has gone on, obviously the opposition has become much more challenging. So I think he's a little bit on the back foot here, just knowing that he's got to be a lot more cautious. Plafke, 5 European Open medals. He's 21 years of age, still quite a young lad. Again, it's another country that they're exposing their young athletes a lot earlier on this world circuit, and giving them that exposure and experience for future I would imagine, Olympic Games.
Yeah, the Germans have been short of a 60 kilo player for a while, I suppose. Who was the last one? The little 60 kilo fighter. Tobias Engelmeyer, I think.
Engelmeyer. That was the one that
Toby, yeah.
I had in my head, I was trying to work it out. I was saying Engelbert. But
close.
Engelmeyer, very close. But it kept coming to the tip, and I knew it wasn't Engelbert. Well, both of these have closed up shop a little bit. There's Sutemi Waza, Tomanagi, nicely executed from the German. got that movement that was required. Mancino has picked up a Shido, tries to draw his opponent down into Niwaza. Technically wasn't exactly the most prettiest looks, but the German now is on top. He's tied up the head quite nicely, but he's got his leg trapped here, and I can't see him really getting that leg out, so knows as the referee is, so he calls the mate. But with 1 minute and 43 seconds remaining, it's still pretty open on which way that this contest could go. German trying to look for the ashiwazas there. Taking a little bit too long and attempting them. There was a lot of showing, but no engaging with the feet. Little bounce in the step there of the German, trying to stay lively and vibrant out there. Mancino. Oh, yes. Well, that was a lovely finish there from Mancino. Well, it looked a strong attack, but I think to see the landing of that, whether it was Ippon or a Wazari, did he get the full rotation onto the back?
Yeah, looks as though they're okay with that.
Well, they're quite happy. From this angle we could see it. We couldn't actually see the full extent of the landing, but nevertheless a great finish there. Mancino takes the bronze for Portugal. Absolutely delighted with that. Is that the coach Cavaleira?
That
used to be a competitor herself.
She was a competitor. That was Ana Hormigo.
Yeah, is Anna.
She was a competitor, yeah, at 52.
I recognise the face, just because there was the Cavaliera sisters as well. And they look so alike.
Yeah, that's Ana Hormigo. He gets caught here. I don't think there's any doubt, actually. The man's in a good position. Jonko Shimbi's in a good position. That's good enough for me.
Beautiful.
And he gets both legs. That's the problem. It's a thumping, Osoda Makikomi. As it ends up there. I don't think that was by design. It just happened that it turned out that way.
I think where he came in, he tried to turn into his opponent to try and avoid the attack, but then realised he was actually accelerating it and tried to turn away from it, which meant that back leg got closer together.
Well, there's a guaranteed bronze medal here for Morocco, because this is an all-Morocco matchup. Issam Bassou faces Yassine Moudatir. It'll be Bassou in the white judogi, Moudatir in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is former world and Olympic champion Cho Min-sung.
And doing extremely well as a referee as well.
Top girl.
Doing really well. Well, miles apart here of experience. Basso, 19 years of age, world rank 131. And Montera in Tunis this year, 5th place, African Championships, a bronze medalist, 29 years of age and world rank 34. So on paper, there's a lot of experience. There's the Kohai Senpai situation here. The master with the student.
Bassou has fought well. He could be dangerous today.
He's very dangerous, and I think it's one of these situations. He's got it all to gain and nothing to lose. Yoko Tomonagi there. Bassou just anticipates that well. Moves out of the technique quite comfortably. Oh, my goodness me. Well, the last famous words. He could be quite dangerous out there. Well, that's exactly how dangerous this young man is.
He'd been fighting well all day. And look at the smile on Mudatir's face, because like you, he knew where that was supposed to go.
Yes.
It hasn't ended up there. Morocco have taken the medal. They're delighted. Mudatir's got to walk off with a bit of a smile on his face because he's just been lashed.
19 years of age this young man is. 19. He's defeated someone 10 years senior to him.
He gave him a bit of a smacking, didn't he?
Well, he gave him, definitely. But so humbling as well. For someone who's so young, you wouldn't have blamed this young man of jumping up and down like an absolute lunatic, thinking, I've just won the World Championships. Uchimata, wonderful display.
It's that push on the way back in.
He got the reaction, he pushed him on the edge, he found himself in a difficult situation being on the edge and walked straight back into it. Walloped him over. Beautifully executed the Uchimata, and he looks up at the referee to say, right,
what about that then?
What about that? Do I get a score? Oh, yeah. And you could see there was an attempt of a sort of a bridge. The body was bracing itself to go over, so hence the reason it was definitely upon, because that bridge was stopping it, and it was just his own.
Right, we come now to the final of the under 60 kilo category. Guzman Kyrgyzbayev, the number 1 seed, faces Bekir Ozlu, the number 2 seed. It's the Kazakh and the Turk going head to head here, and the referee in the middle for this one is Frank Wolf of Germany. Here's Loretta.
Thank you, Sheldon. Well, Kyrgyzbayev has got the upper hand. They've competed against each other, and Kyrgyzbayev on the winning end of that last match. Kyrgyzbayev in Tunis, a bronze medal, 7th in the Masters, and last year in Abu Dhabi, 7th place, and in the World Championships, also 7th. So he's been knocking on the door for these medals. He's always close in receiving the accolades that he's well deserving of. A great technician, and has had a wonderful day today as far as performance is concerned, quite a solid performance, and is the number 1 seed going into this competition. Ozlu, gold medal in The Hague last year, 29 years of age, is 4 years senior to his opponent, a little bit more experience over the years. Zagreb, a bronze medal, and at the European Championships, a 7th place. Again, someone that with maturity that's capable of flirting in and out of these finals throughout the years. Ozlu throws that right hand high over into the collar, drawing the shoulder in. Quite an aggressive throw there, but gets penalised because he's got the pistol grip, holding the bottom of the sleeves in a negative manner, so picks up the Shido for that very grip. Kyrgyzbayev there trying to get that lapel, controlling Ozlu's sleeve, not really managing to do very well. Oh, Chigari there, lovely attack. Kyrgyzbayev did very well to maneuver himself out of that situation.
Kazakh coach has already been told to tone it down. He's got 2.5 minutes to keep quiet now.
Well, it's definitely a hard job to do, being a coach at the side of the mat.
Second penalty picked up by Bekir Ozlu for just breaking off
the grip.
That grip in that way. Frank Wolf, the referee, just indicating that.
Yeah, stop pushing him away and get hold of him. And the thing is, he's a very powerful Tunisian. He's very strong in his grips. And it's really... part of me feels that it's a bit of a habit rather than a ploy to break the grip. I think he's just got that habit. It's double-sided grip there, and picks up the first Shido. Kyrgyzbayev does now.
Just came under pressure from Oslu, who managing to get both hands on his opponent gave him some pressure, and Kyrgyzbayev felt that, decided to, and he's gone over on the other side again.
Again, yes.
Almost caught him with the Ashiwas. He's gone again, no attack. He just over and then back.
The Osotogari was there, the Ochiko-Chigari combination from Kyrgyzbayev, but Oslu was so close with the Osotogari there. He needed to have a little bit more confidence in his ability of what he's capable of doing. He's a very strong, mature athlete that can throw and throw big. There was the Koshigaruma attempt there. Just the head slipped out of the way. But he has no fear of turning the back. But it is really a battle of grips going on at this particular moment. Kyrgyzbayev coming over the top, the same penalty picked up earlier on, being on the same side. Now he's got the hand on the hip, and again that's defensive, so he's got to be careful that he doesn't pick up his second penalty for that infringement. As you can see, it's on the hip. Oh!
All the way over, I think.
Yes. Well, that infringement was pushing on the hip, but also frustrating the life of Oslu, but
I think he's
overthrown him.
Yeah, completely. There you go.
Yes.
You know, it's unfortunate because there's a lot of effort gone in here. He's completely, whipped him off his feet, but he hasn't completed the technique properly.
He lost the control halfway through the air. He lost control of his actions, which is a bit of a 50-50 then, isn't it? It really, you're not controlling it right from the end.
If you're coaching someone, as a coach, if you're coaching someone, how well did they complete the technique? They didn't. There's something missing there.
Yes, and that was the control right to the end.
So you'd have to say, we have to try that one again.
Yes.
And I'm so glad that the refereeing commission has decided that they're not going to give a little bit because it was so spectacular.
Yes.
We don't score spectacular. There's something that we score. We have a part of the body that you've got to land on. I'm only illustrating for illustration purposes because I put my hands on the back where you should land. I assure you, it's just for illustration purposes only. And unfortunately, he didn't land on the back. So it looks spectacular, but he landed on his front. We don't score that. Few seconds left to go. 2 penalties picked up by Oslu. He goes on his front again. Just the one from Kyrgyzbayev. So if this goes into golden score, the advantage really is with Kyrgyzbayev because he could afford another mistake. Oslu cannot.
Uchimata attempt there just at the final stages of this contest.
He needs this break. And there's no break. Frank Wolf said we're not going to take a break to tie up belts or anything.
Oh!
And it's Wazari.
Hey!
And I think he thought that he was going to get a break because his jacket was out and it was the end of the contest. I think that his head just dropped. He thought, I'm going to gather myself here. But Frank Wolf said, no, Jimmy. They went on with it. Bang.
Yeah.
6 seconds. I mean, that's the time it took to move from their start points, get hold of him and throw him. Over he went.
Amazing.
I just think
to see that again. It was so quick.
We will. And I genuinely think that he thought that he was going to get a break and he switched off for a second.
He did. He just he thought it was going to get that little bit of time out.
And he needed it to catch his breath.
That. There's no doubt about it. He did need it. I'm not sure if it was the big Harai or an Ashiguruma there. I'm not quite sure. It happened so quickly. The spin on that. But again, it was nearly an overspin once more.
He just catches the shoulder, and that's enough, isn't it, for the Wazari?
It's the hip throw.
Yeah. Yes, correctly identified by Loretta Cusack-Doyle, the hip doing everything here. The leg moves at the end, but it's an after event. It's the hip being placed in there really nicely. Okay, he gets the arm around the top, not the waist, if you want to be absolutely technical, but for me, a nice big hip throw. Ogoshi over the hip. It's not really a 60 kilo fighter throw, is it, Ogoshi? Right, Juan Carlos Barcos is going to make the medal presentations, and the first of the weight categories to receive their medals are the women in the under 48 kilo category. Juan Carlos Barcos is the head refereeing director of the International Judo Federation.
I must say, how elegant do the ladies look that are presenting the flowers and medals, beautifully dressed.
And the first of the bronze medals goes to Julia Figueroa of Spain. She's trying to put the medal on herself. No.
Give me it.
And the second bronze medal goes to Marusa Stanger of Slovenia. I was impressed with her work rate today.
Definitely.
And with this young lady as well, Catarina Costa of Portugal. I know that Loretta liked her in particular. And the gold medal goes to Irina Dolgova of Russia.
Russia, definitely. A great performance from all these young ladies. It really was a delight to watch, and one that will stay, and I'll watch the progress, is obviously Costa. Costa was a really gutsy performer throughout the day, but definitely outclassed in the final. That experience from Dolgova was just that little bit too much for her, but she'll be delighted with that silver medal.
And now the national anthem of Russia. There's the winning quartet, Figueroa and Stanger, Costa and Dolgova. Right, we come now to the third of the weight categories. We've got the 48 and the under 60 kilo category. It's the turn of the under 52 kilo category, the women. Galbadan Babamuratova of Turkmenistan faces Irem Korkmaz of Turkey. It's Babamuratova in the white judogi, Korkmaz in blue. Everardo Garcia of Mexico is the referee in the middle for this one. Loretta.
Thank you very much, Sheldon. And yes, this is a weight category that has been battling away throughout the day. Very strong athletes that have competed here, 18 of them in total. Babaratov, for me, is a strong athlete, and for possibly a great contender for this bronze medal. But Korkmaz Back in the 2015 World Cadet Championships was a bronze medalist, and Junior European Championships silver in 2016, and also picked up a gold. So for this young lady, she's got a lot of experience for such a young competitor. Babaratimov from Turkmenistan. Grand Prix in Samsun, took a gold medal, along with medals, Grand Prix medals in Tashkent, and Asian champion back in 2014. Turkmenistan have produced some very strong ladies in the past, and this is someone who's been, I believe, out of the scene for a wee while and has come back quite strong. Combination there, Korkmaz, Uchimata, the Uchigari there, but powered down. Babarat Matarov did so well there, but the power that was generated for the counter. Well, Babamatrov takes the bronze medal for Turkmenistan.
Yeah, just too physically strong there.
Very powerful, isn't
Korkmaz. She wanted to catch her with the Ojigari, and then she battled against it, and it was just a push down in the end. She was so strong, couldn't get off it. We'll have a look during the highlights.
There was the Ochigari, there was Hoppener. You thought it was all over and done with. But the power generating for the Kosota counter, but purely because of that left hand up top around the neck there, controlling her opponent and breaking her opponent's balance down as she attempted the Ochigari. Beautiful execution there of the Kosota. Pleasantly delighted there with her performance. Don't know whether she wants to smile or cry.
Right, we come to the second of the bronze medal contests now. Bettina Temelkova of Israel faces teammate Geffen Primo. It'll be Temelkova in the white judogi, Primo in blue.
Well, as you can see there, no head-to-heads, 21 to 17. A big difference in maturity there. Temelkova in Tashkent took a gold medal. This young athlete from Israel, great potential for the future. Primo, for me, has been she's been a very good performer today. She's actually showed some real gutsy performances. Cadet European Championship silver medal, and has quite a few cadet medals under her belt already, a nice collection of gold medals in the cadet level, but so lots to learn. 17 years of age.
The referee in the middle for this one is Luis Rivera of Puerto Rico, and I can tell you that between this pair, this isn't just about bragging rights or anything like that. This is who is going to be number one, and with us only a month or so away from the European Championships, one of these is going to be looking to make their mark. Could be a Shido here for Primo, you know.
Well, it's that situation that we saw with the Moroccan bronze medal final, that you have this youngster coming through and they've really got nothing to lose. They've got it all to gain, a lot of experience, a great exposure to this level of tournament. They're up against their senior, and it's really, if they over-respect them or if they just take it as another match. And Primo, I think she shows so much maturity in her judo. Very, very strong-looking athlete out there, and a great contender for a medal here today.
I'll give the Israeli coach Shani Hershko a bit of a headache.
I wouldn't mind that headache.
And now, how long after does he come up with the penalty for the leg grab? Which is what I said. There should have been a penalty there because Tamelkova was in a standing position. She could have carried out a waza. There was the block from Primo on the ground, and eventually they come up with the penalty. Oh well.
Possibly the opportunity in, rather than stopping the flow of the actual contest itself, to stop and give somebody a penalty, giving the advantage to the opponent that's not receiving the penalty
I'm all
to
for that.
continue with that flow until such time you've got the mate, and then hammer them with it later. Primo doing extremely well. The Uchimata there, scoring a Wazari. And
no, not respecting her elders, eh?
yeah. Definitely difficult for Tamelkova. A lot of pressure for this young lady. You've got this youngster that's nipping away at her ankles, wanting her position, and she has it all to lose by not picking up this bronze medal. The pressure will be on her, especially when it comes to qualifying for the European Championships that's held in Tel Aviv this year. Primo straight away battling draws that shoulder down. Left hand, as you can see, very strong indeed. The Tominagi attempt for Tamelkova, who's attempting the arm lock. Primo attempting what looked to be the Uchimata into the Makakomi. Just trying to hit her opponent first before she gets caught. Again, nice strong left-handed high collar grip. Draws her opponent's head down. Works her on the edge, piling the pressure. The Tominagi attempt there. Primo trying to keep busy and taking full advantage of going into ground. So you can only see there's one Shido and that goes to Primo, but just half a minute remaining in this contest, so not long yet. It was still quite a long way for Primo to hang on. Tamelkova there, Tominagi once more. This time it was executed a little bit better. Still didn't get score, but got that movement flowing a little bit easier. She throws that right hand over the top. Again, trying to draw her opponent's head down to get the reaction. Hooks him and steps through for the Uchimata, but Primo takes the bronze medal this time.
Well, Shani Hershko's headache just got that little bit bigger because he'll want Minska and Rashoni at 48.
Yes.
And he won't have a second pick.
I know they've got these two.
And they've got these two here.
It's a difficult one because you've got someone who's she's performed very, very well here today, but she's still reasonably young with a career in front of her. And you're targeting this young lady not for the Olympic Games now, but possibly 4 years' time. So do you want to throw someone in there that maybe could be overwhelmed by the fact it's at home and it's a European Championships and they'll be up against the best of Europe? Or do you go with those with the maturity to be able to cope with that level of tournament and that you know has a really strong track record?
I don't know.
I don't know.
And guess what? I'm not Shani Hershko.
And it's not my not my problem.
It's not my problem. It's all yours, Shani.
Shani, you take it away, son. That's it.
And he wasn't out there to witness it because, you know, they're both his players, so they just went out there, the pair of them, and battled it out. So,
as they say, reap what you sow. He's got some cracking players out there, and now he's got to put a team together. Well, good luck with that.
So Giffen had the long walk back, all on her own. She just walked back in front of our commentary position, well, below us. Anyway, right, that was the second of the bronze medal contest. We come now to the final of the under 52 kilo category. The number 1 seed here, Alexandra Larissa Florian of Romania, faces Eveline Schopp of Switzerland. It's Florian in the white judogi, Schopp in blue. 1 against 2. That's worked out.
Well, look at these two. Both of them have had, there's been 4 matches and 2 apiece. So it really is a head-to-head this time. Be interesting to see how they perform against each other. Florian, number 1 seed.
The referee in the middle for this one is Turbat Engtsetseg of Mongolia. Loretta, take it away.
Florian obviously has got to be the stronger on paper, and as she comes in as the number 1 seed in this competition in Baku last year, a gold medal in the Grand Prix, in the Masters, a bronze medal, and in Abu Dhabi also a bronze medal. Someone that loves picking up these medals in the Grand Prix and Grand Slams and Master events, has a lot of experience and hooks in there with a lovely Ouchigari straight out on the attack. Nicely executed.
Oh, scored.
Schopp at the European Championships.
10 seconds is all that's needed here. She's not coming out of this one.
Well, that was for the number 1 seed. That was the number 2 seed going through and taking the top position, and that makes it 3-2 now. So Schopp takes the gold medal for Switzerland as the number 2 seed and takes the edge on the wins as well, now making it 3-2.
Well, Turbat, the referee from Mongolia, didn't have much of a job there.
I'm quite sure he'd be delighted with that.
She walked off fairly disappointed, you know, all over within 20 or 30 seconds. They like to get out the middle and show what they're worth, but Schopp had other ideas.
Schopp, I'm quite sure, wanted to get that one out of the way. Has had a good performance today, but Florian was definitely firing throughout the day, and a very convincing finalist. Wasn't really challenged at all throughout the day until that last match. So did she come out a little bit lackadaisical?
Medals are going to be presented by the International Judo Federation Treasurer, Nasser Al-Tamimi. This is in the under 60 kilo category. They're all lined up and ready. There's Mr. Al-Tamimi. And the bronze medals go first of all to Gonçalo Massino of Portugal and to Issam Basu of Morocco. Silver medal goes to Bekir Ozlu of Turkey, and the gold medal goes to Guzman Kyrgyzbayev of Kazakhstan. And now the national anthem of Kazakhstan. The winning quartet there, Basu and Mancino, the bronze medalist. Oslu took the silver, but it was Kyrgyzbayev who walked away with the gold medal. Right, we come now to the next weight category. This is the under 66 kilo category, and the first of the bronze medals features Daniel Jean of France. He's up against Sergiu Oljenic of Portugal. It'll be Jean in the white judogi, Oljenic in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Frank Wolf of Germany. Here is Loretta.
Well, thank you very much, Sheldon. Well, Oljenic, a lot of maturity under his belt, and will this be what will win him the bronze medal? Well, Jean of France has had an outstanding performance this young man, 21 years of age. He's right down on the world ranking list, but the Cadets European Championships, 3rd place, and quite a few continental junior medals under his belt. Great potential for France, and has gave a very good performance out here today. Oljenic, 35 years of age. Definitely seen quite a few medal matches in his time. This experience might be the ingredient that will take him forward onto the podium. Oljenic there with the drop Sianagi, follows through now, looking for the opportunity in the Niwaza. Frenchman defends quite nicely down in the ground, but has to be very careful not to leave himself too vulnerable there in the ground. Jean there looking to try and find something in the ground, but very little on offer for him. Slightly taller than his opponent. Slight edge as far as not really. Oh, lovely Osota, beautifully executed, and now takes the lead with a Wazari for the Frenchman. Well, Oljenic now really has to start taking it up another level. And flexing a little bit more muscle out there. So far it's just been at one pace that's been comfortable for both. But now it becomes very challenging for the Portuguese, who finds himself down a Wazari with 2 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in this contest. Gian there, as you can see again once more, clipping just the back of the leg for that Osoto off at the side. It's that little skip across which just catches the back end of the knee of the Portuguese, using full advantage of those long limbs. Olenic, as you can see, his hands been all tied up at the moment, and continues. There'll be a penalty handed out. The Frenchman looks like he's drawing the hands down, so definitely a Shido to the Frenchman, which will give him his second one. This is where he's got to be very careful. One more would result in the hand Sukumaki and undo all that good work that he's done up until now. Using his feet, the Frenchman tries to break down the Portuguese. There for the drop just on the edge of the contest area. And just a minute remaining in this contest. Now for the Frenchman, there is a lot of pressure to just stay up on his feet and control this match and not make any silly mistakes. But Olenic knows tactically, and he has the maturity in his judo and the experience that goes with it to just know how to tactically win this contest. And I'm quite sure this is what he'll be working away for. You know, one more Shido would result in the hand Sokimaki, meaning that if he just stays busy all the time, puts in the attack, piling the pressure on the Frenchman, then the mistakes might happen. Frenchman has a nice strong left hand high collar grip, drawing Olenic's head down. Now working away in the Niwaza, the Frenchman eats up the time there. Tactically it's the best position for him to be in, with 5 seconds remaining.
Well, Jean has come up trumps there today.
Well, Jean did really well there, and he was very lucky near to the end that he didn't run out of time.
Well, two bits of luck, because remember he had that bit of luck where the Moroccan was disqualified against him earlier on.
That's correct.
And
yes.
now he scored once here reasonably early on and managed to hang on. Olenic couldn't get back into it. He picked up the two penalties, but hey.
I was quite surprised that Olenic didn't actually have is an experienced fighter, and there was a lot of mistakes that Jean had made, and right near the end, even there, he was running away, and it's a very silly thing to do, because even in the last seconds you can be penalised for that.
Take a look at the highlights and then we'll be back with more action. Right, we've got a second bronze medal coming up now. Andras Jereb of Slovenia faces Yelan Jaksibekov of Kazakhstan. It's Jereb in the white judogi, Jaksibekov in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Turbat Sekseg of Mongolia. Here she is.
Jereb in Tashkent Grand Prix, 7th place, 5th in Cancun. This 25-year-old, world rank 31. On paper, the stronger and favourite of the bronze medal. Oh, lovely Uchimata. Oh, nicely executed. Well, great start for Jereb. Right hand inside the lapel. Kayezberekov there coming in with Uchimata. Oh, Kosota, wonderful. Controlled so nicely, but looking at that angle, it looked like he was flat on his back. But nevertheless, a great Wazari.
I think he just goes on his shoulder first,
and then goes towards the back.
There's a little bit of a pause, and then he rolls across
Let's
here.
have a look there.
Down he goes.
Yes, right onto the shoulder.
Yeah, and then he rolls.
Yes.
And had he landed and rolled immediately, I think they could have given Ippon.
Ippon for that, but definitely
as you were suggesting. But he just pauses a little bit. He's strong enough. He's strong enough just to pause him, and then he gets rolled. So Wazari on the board for Jereb. He leads with 2:45 left to go.
Kayezberekov there, as you can see, the left hand round the back of the shoulder. Cross gripping, needs to obviously attack as soon as he gets the grip. Comes in deep. Uchimata over the top, and there it is. Wazari Aseti Ippon. Beautifully done. And Slovenia takes the bronze medal, a nice big smile as well.
Was that to you there, Loretta?
I think he was waving to me, definitely waving. It was all mine. And I'm going to claim that
was,
one.
Right in your direction there.
Definitely. Well, I'm going to claim it anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's made my day.
Andras Jereb takes a well-deserved bronze medal. He's fought well today. Good man. Jaksibekov has to settle for a 5th place, I'm afraid. Got caught twice there, so you can't really complain. He went over twice.
Well, that was some nice judo. Definitely a contest worthy of a bronze medal. And the Slovenians have been doing very well, haven't they?
Yeah.
What a team. Got Gombok coming up now for Slovenia. Already seen his teammate take the bronze. That cheeky smile.
Right, we come now to the final of the under 66 kilo category. Adrian Gombots of Slovenia faces Yelan Zerikzhanov of Kazakhstan. Gombots in the white judogi, Zerikzhanov in blue. And the referee in the middle for this one is Cho Min-sun of the Republic of Korea.
Well, very similar in age, these athletes. Gombot, European Championships, 2nd place, 7th in the Grand Slam in Tokyo, also 5th in the Olympic Games in Rio. Somebody that's today defeated the biggest upset of the day, defeating Zantaraya in the first opening match of this weight category, which was at the big wake-up call for everyone, wasn't it?
Well, and they followed swiftly by Mikhail Pulyaev of Russia. He went out as well.
Yes.
In the same round.
So there's been quite a few upsets within this weight category. 25 competitors started off at the beginning of the day. We're down now to the last 2 athletes to compete in this final. Both guaranteed a medal, but what colour will it be? Gombok seen his teammate just pick up the bronze medal.
Just across the face, that I think. Very uncomfortable.
Gombok there with the drop. Sianagi lost a little bit of control as he spun in under his opponent. Battle of the grips here at this particular moment there. Kazakhstan stepping across. Tayatoshi there. Just didn't get across deep enough. Gombok looking for the Niwazu, and we know the Slovenians are very clever on the ground. We've seen quite a few wins for the Slovenian team. Sutemi was her attempt there for Kazakhstan.
I've seen stronger. He was lucky there.
Very, very lucky on that one.
Didn't really move Gombots, did he? It's always funny when you look across and see Rok Dracic in the chair. He's for so long on the mat, you know, just a stalwart of the Slovenian team, and now in the coach's chair. Rocky. That's not him, by the way. That's the Kazakh coach.
Well, Kazakhstan trying to secure the grip. He's got the lapel. Right hand on the lapel. But there's the Makakomi. The Slovenian drives. So close to scoring there. Kazakhstan did so well.
There was that second push, wasn't there?
Yes, he just did well to hang on. Kazakhstan attempting the Uchimata there, the drop Sianagi. Very dangerous move as he dropped in the Sianagi to try and come back out and rescue himself. Could have got caught on the way back.
Just got to be careful now, Gombots, that he doesn't fall off the pace here. Another cycle from Zerikzhanov, and it'll really put Gombots behind. Just been stepping up the tempo, the Kazakh fighter.
Uchigari there, oh, that was lovely and deep. Followed by the Ashiwaza. Gombok with the high collar grip, trying to draw his opponent's head down, coming in for the Makikomi. Didn't get much movement from there.
But he saved himself by just putting in that last attack.
Yes. Zurikhanov there starting to look a little bit tired.
Well, he's been working quite hard.
Combat. High collar grip once more. Oh, yes.
Almost came up with the counter there, didn't he?
Yeah.
Good reactions from Gombots after.
Nice upper body control that was based on that. If he'd put his footwork in, he could have actually stole the score. Makakomi once more. We've seen that a few times. They seem to get stronger. Zurikhanov knows they're now coming and will anticipate them. He's got to be careful that he doesn't leave himself open for the counter. So we're into the golden score now.
Golden score period underway now. Low left-sided effort from Zurikhanov. He can't finish off.
Sutemi was her attempt there.
Nor can Gombots.
So it's 1-for-1 at the moment. It's a very tough match. And what's quite refreshing there is no Shidos at all on the board. Gombot with the high collar grip once more, turns it into the Makakomi. Just so close.
One of our IT staff is obviously Slovenian. He's up and down on his feet here. Excited at the prospect of Gombots taking a gold medal. And that was a good effort.
Nice Sutemi was there. Sumigeshi controlled quite nicely to the end. Gombot takes the gold medal.
He just about squeezes out a score there, doesn't he? Brings him down onto a side, and there's just enough for a score to Gombots. So, Adrian Gombots, the winner of the gold medal in the under 66 kilo category, a silver medal to Yerlan Zurikhanov of Kazakhstan. He didn't wave up at you, Gombots. Must be
just blown him out now.
Well, I was going to say, I thought maybe all the Slovenians would wave up here. It was obviously a personal thing then, was it?
I'll have a word with him later.
There's Rocky, a big smile. Big smile from Rok Gracic, why not? Handshakes all round for the second place.
Kazakhstan as well as the Slovenians have both teams that have done very well today as far as performances are concerned.
It looks better with a second look, doesn't it? Look.
Yes, it's controlled. It's that
high collar grip.
It's the high collar grip, that right hand that was over the top, got the reaction, but he controlled that right hand very nicely around the back, using his head as well to get the direction.
Right, we've got the awarding ceremony for the women in the under 52 kilo category coming up. Next, go to the podium and have a look and see who we've got in the lineup. Mohamed Marija, the Education and Coaching Director of the International Judo Federation, is making the presentation. Snazzy looking outfit from Mohamed there, wasn't he?
Very dapper.
The first of the bronze medals goes to Gefan Primo of Israel. Silver medal goes to Gulbadam Babamuratova of Turkmenistan. Sorry, the second of the bronze medals goes to Babamuratova. Silver medal goes to Alexandra Larissa Florian of Romania, but the gold medal goes to Evelyn Chop of Switzerland. Now the national anthem of Switzerland. Beaming smile at the end there from Gifan Primo. Bamuratova wishing smile for being back on the podium. Shop smiles because she's the gold medalist. And I suppose there's a bit of a grin there from Florian, who came in as the number 1 seed but ended up in 2nd place. We've got the last of the weight categories to bring you now. It's the under 57 kilo category, and the first of the bronze medal contests features Sarah Harashi of France. She's up against Sumia Irahui of Morocco. It's Harashi in the white judogi, Irahui in blue, and the referee in the middle for this one is Mr. Bayat Nedim, or Nedim Bayat of Turkey, beg your pardon. Loretta.
Thank you very much, Sheldon. And looking at those statistics, Harashi obviously has the upper hand of a head-to-head win. But when it comes down to the statistics of age and world ranking and wins by a pond, there's very little to divide both these athletes. We would say it would have the home advantage here. With this crowd completely behind Harachi there. Back in 2015, the Junior World Championships took a bronze medal, along with the Junior European Championships bronze medal. 22 years of age, slightly 1 year older than her opponent. Iraqi in Rome, silver medalist, and also 2nd in the African Open. World rank 45. This is obviously a big hope for Morocco to take a bronze medal. And throughout the day, the support here for the Moroccan team has been overwhelming and very supportive indeed. Harashi, as you can see, lovely turnover. We saw that in previous matches today. Nicely executed, turns her opponent over into the Osakomi, and it looks like Iraqi will have to settle for 5th place. So Harashi, with ease, takes the bronze medal for France in the under 57 kilos.
Well, it was a spirited effort from Irahui. She lost that in the semi-final, didn't she? She was almost there.
Yeah, she fought really well. Nielsen Levy from Israel was the young lady that defeated her.
Arashi into the arms of Serge Diot. the coach. A blast from the past. Right, we'll have some highlights and then we'll be back with the second of the bronze medal contests. Right, coming up next, the second of the bronze medal contests. Lisa Marchesi of France will go up against the number one seed in the under 57 kilo category today, Miriam Roper of Panama. It'll be Marchesi in the white judogi, Roper in blue. And it's a little bit of a surprise to find Miriam Roper down in the bronze medal contest. One would have fancied her chances today in the final.
Definitely, I would have thought that. But one thing with Miriam Roper, she is consistent, and just in all these Grand Slams and Grand Prix, she's placed and medalled every one. So, but head-to-heads, neither one of them have competed against each other, but they're miles apart as far as experience is concerned between the both of them. And Miriam Roper, 5th in the World Championships, 35 years of age. As I said, a lot of experience under her belt. 7th in Düsseldorf and a bronze medal in Tunis this year already.
Let's see how this pair get on, and the referee in the middle for this one is Roland Poiger of Austria. Serge Diop is back in the chair. He could have just sat there, couldn't he?
Yeah. And Marchesi, Lisa, 5th in Rome, had a great performance in Rome, 21 years of age, and so she's actually 14 years younger than her opponent here. Will this be something that will... Oh, the Ashi was. Well, this is where Miriam Roper comes into her own. Her footwork is amazing. She has wonderful Oichiko Chigaris, the Ashi Barais, Koso Tagaris. Oh, these long legs just get all over the place, and they're a massive threat to any opponent.
Yeah.
Oh, over the top. In fact, it's given her Wazari, but she was flat on her back, it looked from that angle. So already a great start for Roper. Marches against the Ashiwaza, knocks her down onto the rear.
You'd be looking at her feet by now, wouldn't you, if you were Marchesi and you'd never come up against Roper before and you'd been, tossed about 2 or 3 times, or at least, thrown once and knocked off your feet on a couple of occasions just from the Ashiwas. You'd be thinking, well, I better look out for that.
You would think so. That's the danger with those athletes that have great Ashiwazas. They are very, very dangerous athletes to compete against, because that you have to at one stage move, and it's when you move and one foot comes off the ground and your opponent's got cracking footwork, it makes them very, very dangerous. And Miriam is one of these athletes that really works with her feet like another set of hands. She rolls her opponent over the Sangaku turn here, trying to, I think, secure Sangaku Jimmy.
Not yet.
Not yet, no, the legs have gone, but she's looking for she's trying to secure the hold from there. She ties up the head nicely, but as you can see, her own leg's caught up at the moment.
There we go.
She needs to dig that out, and there you have it, the Tatishio Gatami, and doesn't look like...
10 seconds only needed. She's already got one score. She's trapped
got
the
the
foot
leg
at the
again.
back. You've just seen that in time.
No, she needs to hold her down,
could
because
go again.
it was the
Osaikomi.
Tukitami. The Osaikomi's there.
Osaikomi.
Well, for Miriam, that was well spotted. She could have just sat up, because he did call mate as well. But she secured the hold again. And this time no legs getting trapped.
Yeah.
So a Wazaria Seti upon, and a great win for Miriam Roper at the bronze medal.
Well, as Loretta was saying just at the introduction there, consistent performer. Just recently, Miriam Roper hitting all the right notes, and even if she misses out on one, well, it's pretty close and she gets it in the right key. So on song, if you like to continue that analogy. Miriam Roper taking the second bronze medal here, ahead of Lisa Marchese of France, who put up a reasonable little battle, but a good effort earlier on during the day to get this far.
Yeah, and a nice little smile there from Miriam, for someone who, when I saw her in the car park earlier on as I came in, was very, very nervous, she said. Even, she says, for all the years I've been competing and the experience that I have, she says, I still get so nervous. Well, she's turned those nerves into a lot of excitement here this afternoon. And there's some of the highlights of that very contest.
Right, we come now to the final of the under 57 kilo category. Katja Kaiser of Slovenia faces Timna Nelson-Levy of Israel. It'll be Kaiser in the white judogi, Nelson-Levy in blue. And the referee in the middle for this one is Everardo Garcia of Mexico. Here is Loretta Cusack-Doyle.
Well, Kaiser of Slovenia, gold medal in EOF, 18 years of age, this young lady, and already doing so well at this level of competition. 5th in Tunis, 3rd in Tashkent, and then 7th place in Zagreb, and only 28th in the world ranking. Definitely had a great performance here today, knocking out the number 1 seed Miriam Roper in the quarterfinals, which was an exciting match. Nelson-Levy, 23 years of age, 9th in the world ranking, 5th in Paris, 2nd in Tashkent, and in the European Championships back in 2016, a bronze medalist. So for Kaiser, there's a lot of development. But as you can see, Nelson-Levy in the Osakomi position, but Kaiser, who's won most of her matches in the Niwaza, now finds herself on the receiving end in the Niwaza.
Simple Kezgatami with an odd entry, but she's out.
She manages to get out there. That's fantastic. Just shows the determination of this young lady. Well,
17 seconds.
Oof. Very strong upper body control there. As you can see, that right hand deep over the back of Kaiser. Drawing her head down, a bit of a head-to-head clash there. Hips come through. Oh, nice attempt then for Kaiser. Draws those hips through. All in the right direction, but just didn't get that little final finish to the attack. Nice strong grip there again for Nelson-Levy. That right hand round the back that controls so well. Trying to get the right hand sleeve there, as you can see. Kosota switched it as a counter for the Uchimata. But once again, Kaiser now back down in a receiving end of that arm lock. Well, it's a big surprise here, but Kaiser we normally see on the attacking in Niwaza has been on the receiving end of the Niwaza every time so far. 1 minute 55 seconds remaining in this contest, just over the halfway mark now. Israel lead with the one Wazari.
Silly penalty. I saw that and thought, what's she doing? You know, she pulled her gi out. Well, that was a penalty that followed.
Kosota, lovely attack there. Nice turnover just happening there, but referee called Mate. One minute 18 seconds remaining. Nelson Levy in a good position now with one Wazari. Great Kosotagari there, attempt that could have had it all over and done with. A few good attempts in the Niwaza as well that was so close. And Nelson picking up the first Shido. So it's one apiece now. Levy looking for the roll. Mate called from the referee. Karai didn't have the upper body control on it. Very strong legs though. Kaiser desperately trying to come back in here, but Nielsen Levy once more in the attacking in the Niwaza as the clock ticks away quite nicely. This would be full advantage that should be taken here, and the Osakomi has been called. Kaiser turning in and swinging out, but once again a great escape from the Slovenian. But with 1 second, and that was it. The Wazari was the final win for Nielsen Levy through that Osakomi that was in the opening minute of this contest. Great final, a great win for Israel.
Timna Nelson Levy of Israel takes the gold medal in the under 57 kilo category and on the ground. So her teammates earlier on, you know, both lost on the ground.
Yeah. Well, both lost to that athlete. So she's had 3 Israeli girls.
Well, they lost to others.
Yeah,
but
to other Slovenians, yeah.
Other Slovenians,
yeah.
But she turned the tables on them. Right, let's have a look at the highlights and then we'll be back with the awarding ceremony for... Who is it that we've got next? The women in the under 52 kilos. Oh, 66. Men's 66. Right, the bronze medals are being awarded now, and the first of these bronze medals goes to Andras Jereb of Slovenia. Second of the bronze medals goes to Daniel Jean of France. Silver medal goes to Yelan Zerikzhanov of Kazakhstan. The gold medal goes to Adrian Gombac of Slovenia. And now the national anthem of Slovenia. Jereb and Jean were the bronze medalists. Zerikzhanov took the silver. It was Gombac who came in and claimed the gold medal. The second Grand Prix gold medal. We've got some highlights. Stay with us and then we'll be back with the last of the awarding ceremonies. Right, we come now to the awarding ceremony for the women in the under 57 kilo category. And the bronze medals go first of all to Miriam Roper of Panama. There's a bronze medal too for Sarah Harashi of France. Silver medal goes to Katja Kaiser of Slovenia. But the gold medal goes to Timna Nelson Levy of Israel. And now the national anthem of Israel. There were gold medals today for Israel, Russia, Switzerland, Kazakhstan and Slovenia. The 5 gold medals shared between those 5 countries, but it's Slovenia who top the medal table with a silver and 2 third places as well as their gold medal. Join us again tomorrow when we bring you more live action from day 2 of the Grand Prix in Agadir. But from Loretta Cusack-Doyle and myself, it's bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.